Hi everyone, thank you to everybody participating in the animal welfare quiz. And for the last question, I'll be in the lobby when we get back to the hostel. You come and find me with your piece of paper with your name, MO, and answers to all the questions. And then I say Austria. Guys, I say Croatia.
Do idućeg susreta.
I say Czech Republic. I say Denmark. I say Estonia. I say Finland. I say France. I say Germany. I say Greece. I say Hungary. I say Indonesia. I say Italy. I say Malaysia. I say the Netherlands. I say Norway. I say the Philippines. I say Poland. I say Romania. I say Samoa. See you later, alligator. I say South Africa. Guys, I say South Korea. I say Switzerland. I say Taiwan. I say Thailand. I say Tunisia. I say UK and Ireland. Until we meet again. I can say Romania, yeah. Arvin? We have reached quorum at 55%.
Okay, the motion before recess to table voting on the maximum fee for Morocco is out of order. So now we're back to discuss the fee where we left it.
As sponsors, we do not have anything in writing yet, but we do know at least three that will help us greatly: our school, the Ministry of Agriculture, and the Moroccan National Order of Veterinarians. The other entities that will be contacted include the National Organisation for Sanitary Security of Food Products, who worked with us on previous events, the Moroccan branch of who sponsored one of our previous events and who we've already worked with, the Moroccan FAO branch, who are good contacts through our school, pharmaceutical companies, national and international, veterinary products manufacturers, also both, banks as well as food companies, that we'll probably reach out to for in nature sponsoring, plus for specific events like the formal dinner. Also, hopefully we'll be able to get some international sponsors with the help of Peter. Sorry for the radio silence at Lola. According to the theme we chose, we will be counting on Peter to help us contact global NGOs and other entities, some who may be veterinary specific. Okay. Have you chosen more expensive accommodation? This is the next question, sorry. Have you chosen more expensive accommodation / food options to show off the best the country has to offer, or is it the cheapest you have? Formal dinner is also a big post in the total budget. The Netherlands used €4,500 for 150 people. South Africa used 2,500 for 140 people. The answer to that was, well, to answer that is yes and no. Showing off the best of Moroccan culture has always been on our mind, but we also found that we didn't have a choice. Of course, we are still continuing to explore other accommodation and catering. An exco will have to be updated on those, as well as other delegates in Croatia. We understand that things are not very convincing right now, but a full detailed report will be provided in Croatia. Formal dinner is one of the most important things for us because it will be quintessential Moroccan with a twist. We understand that the price may seem very high in contrast with previous events, but as I've explained to Tabishi, the venue rental alone will cost no less than €3,000. Food will also cost a lot, and hopefully we will try to reduce it even a little bit, and I'm afraid the total cost will not change much. That being said, a party of this size, we think it's a fair price to pay, and we have so much in store for you. Smiley face. And this is the last question. At what point would you consider withdrawing if it looks like you will not be able to find sponsors? The manual states that you can withdraw up to 90 days prior to day one, but if sponsorship or reducing the cost is not the right time to organise a special GA. The answer was, so far we have no reason to believe that we can't do it. The Moroccan OC is very pumped up and excited to be working on the symposium, but if by any mischance we find more difficulties than we can handle, Expo will be notified immediately. We think that this summer we will have all of our ideas set, and even if we were to withdraw, it would surely be done before the next Exco begin their term, so that matter can be solved in advance. And that was all the questions.
Okay. Any other discussion? Anyone who hasn't spoken yet? Okay.
IVSA SACMA. So an idea that had been floated around yesterday that was the possibility of shortening Symposium and potentially cutting the nights in half, so having it be like 5 days, where you focus much more intensely on the business, cut out some of the tourist activities, which we all love, but truly what IVSA is an organization, and we have business that has to get done. That would cut the cost for accommodation potentially significantly depending on how much we shorten it. And then we could also consider dropping the number of delegates to 100 in addition to save even more money.
Thank you. Any other discussion? Daniel.
Daniel Lund, IVSA Expo. Just want to clarify that lowering the number of delegates might not necessarily mean that we'll save money, because there are certain fixed events that usually take place during Symposium, and with more delegates, that cost is spread out for more people, whereas with fewer delegates, the cost will be spread out on fewer people.
Thank you.
Sinds Geruim, IVSA the Netherlands. I have a question directed at Peter.
Can't do that.
Okay. Well, and how far are they relying on Aero or Exco to do the sponsoring for them? Because when they answered the question, it was kind of vague, and they were just listing a bunch of companies that exist, and I don't know how far that seems like achievable. So, yeah.
It is, IVSA Exco. So last time I spoke with Eddie, they were interested or requesting if there's any funds available for sponsorship for specifically the symposium. As things currently stand, IVSA Global do not have excessive funds to spill over into sponsoring such an event. With that being said, there is still a lot of time left, and a few companies that I am in contact with that is interested in sponsoring specific events. But at this stage, I cannot give a fixed amount, like a definite amount that we will be able to give them if we even will. So it's difficult to say at this stage. What I can do from my side at this moment is I can give us an advisory role on how to approach sponsors and kind of just give them assistance in that manner. And if we do manage to find a global sponsor that's interested in helping them, we will look into that. But at this stage, we do not have that available.
No, you also can't speak without being called on. Okay, thank you, Peter.
Alan from Oldenburg, IVSA Netherlands. We just heard the idea of shortening the symposium. We can only do that by one day because our bylaws state that a symposium shall last for no shorter than 8 days and 7 nights, just to clarify that.
Thank you. Margaret.
I'm trying outside this alumni. Even where possible, I do not think that shortening the length of the symposium would be a good idea, because traveling to another country to do GA, which is our prime aim or goal during these events. Yes, that is our core business, but you should also give an added value to people that come from far away to have this amazing experience, which is what Morocco is aiming to do. IVSA Morocco is really keen, and we get that from their explanation. But I do concur with the voiced concerns about the feasibility or the possibility of them actually achieving what they're set out to do. I think they might be trying to bite off more than they can chew. Unfortunately, Morocco is a great country, but as it is, I'm not really convinced that there will be any sponsors soon. I hope they will, but that is a concern that I really concur with. Fees should not be raised that much. It sets a precedent, so I do agree with that as well. Yes, we have inflation. Yes, we have rising costs, but you should keep it low to maximize participation from all of the countries and lowering the amount of students or delegates possible. I'm not too keen on that idea either, because IVSA is growing. That is also a strategic goal of this association, which is good. You try to include as many delegates and as many IVSA MOs as possible, not just to have quorum, but also because that's what an event, that's what GA is all about. Operating on an international level by including as many delegates and as many nationalities and members of organizations as possible. That said, I have strong concerns. I have strong hope that they pull it off. But as of yet, I hear a lot of goodwill and intention, but no, not much facts. And we did have events already. 63rd IVSA Congress in Indonesia, which was a great event, but Exco pulled away there as well, and much more in IVSA UK and Ireland. And we have the special GA already. Exco should be able to focus on their core business, which is pushing IVSA to a higher level. If their very precious energy for OC, which should carry the weight and responsibility on their own, that takes away from the growth and the quality of the work they can do for IVSA proper, for IVSA global. So I strongly suggest that we should keep the OCs responsible for that cause. OC can ask EXCO to help, but this should really be an exception, just as much as trying to hire to increase the fee. That should also be a very, very big exception and not something we easily look toward.
Okay, thank you. The chair would like to remind you that we're voting on approving a maximum fee of 350 euros, not shortening the event or canceling the event. We are going to vote on a maximum fee, so please try to focus on that issue, the fee that we have to decide. Okay, someone who hasn't spoken. Martha.
Martha Janosch, IVSA EXCO. So we discussed this quite extensively among EXCO, and we have kind of come up with, I wouldn't say a solution, but an opinion from our side. We actually do not think that it is advised, well, we don't advise Morocco to withdraw because of the reason that we've been struggling to get other MOs to run in the first place. So it has been a difficulty to get the MOs to run for events, and Morocco is really enthusiastic and they are really ready for this event, regardless of the fact that they're struggling with the budget at this moment. They really are enthusiastic about putting on a great event for everyone. That being said, in terms of the budget, we also decided that it will be given help from our side, and that help would come in terms of contacting some sponsors and seeing if we can do something from our side. How useful that will be is not necessarily in our hands, but then also to just help them out with general organizing of the different activities within the event, including finalizing the budget, going through the budget carefully and cut where they should be cutting, and then trying to rather encourage them to cut on the areas that they have control on, like we said, for the formal dinner, for example, as opposed to trying to force their manager to withdraw and then sitting with a problem where we don't have another member organization running, and if they do and they end up running very late, we might sit with exactly the same problem as the next MO, not having enough fees and more funds because of sponsorships that they can find. So that was what we discussed amongst EXCO, and I mean, if anyone has questions, they can direct them to the chair, and we will answer it as much as good as we possibly can.
Thank you. Okay, Pasha.
Is a Krakow, so I wanted to address the fee first. That I think that now we pay 335 euros, so it's like 15 euros of difference. So I know the price shouldn't, plus the tax, of course, yeah. I know the price shouldn't go up, but I think it's not such a high price that we won't get the quorum. I mean, I don't know, but I don't think it's such a huge price. But on the other hand, I've spoken to Mary, and he's willing to cut the costs. I mean, they just assume the best that they can give us. And I think there's no problem with them cutting it later when they won't manage to do anything. And I know he's not sleeping right now, and he's quite willing to go online if you have any questions to him. So maybe you can do that also.
Okay, thank you. Any other questions? Anyone who hasn't spoken? Meg? Down up there. For a big moment.
Meg Rollins. So if you kind of, this is a point of information. So can we vote on the fee now and then have this discussion again in Croatia when they say they're going to give us a more detailed report about whether or not they should withdraw? And then, you know, we're a year away now. We'll have more clear idea in 6 months. But I'm not sure if, do we even have the ability to vote like kind of force them to withdraw?
Yes, okay. So I believe they can ask for an emergency change of their maximum fee. Is that correct, parliamentarian?
Yeah, that's correct. So we have to set the fee. We have to set the fee right now, but they can ask us to hike up the fee in Congress. So right now, if really needed, they can like kind of beg for us to hike the fee in Croatia.
The answer to your question is yes, it's possible.
Thank you. But we
You have to sit down. Okay. Any other questions? Anyone who hasn't spoken yet? Anna?
Anna Benton, IVSA staff. So crazy idea, but roll with me here. I don't know how this reads, but it might help out. Is there a way to offer a less expensive symposium fee if participants were to like arrange their own lodging in a hostel or commute to GA and stuff like that? I know that the liability would be crazy, but it might encourage more MOs to attend if they have to pay a lesser cost, even though they might have to take some of the logistics upon themselves. So, I don't know, but
Okay,
there.
thank you. Any other questions or comments? Anyone who hasn't spoken yet? Yeah, Lydia.
I don't have to, we just have to say critical. I don't have to answer, right?
No.
So going back to what we spoke about, Aero and the help of IVSA, so we've tried reaching international sponsors on our own, and we've tried with Brandon, and it didn't work completely. So as much as enthusiastic we were, and as much as we tried, it just didn't work. They were not interested. International sponsors were not interested in helping the event. So this is a concern too. If they will try it, it might happen, but I'm just saying that it didn't completely work for us, even though we really tried from the beginning. And like Arvid mentioned, well, there, Maggie said that the sponsors that they mentioned, he didn't really say any amounts of money. It was just said that they will help us greatly. So there's no certain amounts of money, so it's not fixed. So still, it's like not enough information. It's not enough certainty. And maybe it's just like, because we're discussing it, it's just a comment that maybe I think we might be kind of going slightly the wrong way, as in you're saying, and I'm glad that people are aware, it's about GAs and it's about the fact that we meet, we can discuss, have some lectures, but maybe we should like slightly drop on those fancy events and like make it less fancy. That's because I really get the feeling that it's really nice that they want to show the best, but do we really need the best, like the top level, or is this the idea? For us actually to come, then I think it's not the point. And also to what Magda said, that there weren't many countries willing to run, and each year we actually don't really have any competition. It's only one country running, so that's another point, that it's getting more and more difficult to organize an event. And I can also see the difference since we ran the first time and the third time, that it's getting more and more difficult because everybody wants to do their best, and that means more cost, and that means more sponsorship. And also, the fee is raising because of the CF tax, so it's all getting a little bit too high, and I think that's discouraging MOs from running to do the Congress and Symposium.
Okay, thank you. Linda.
Manuela, IVSA Hungary. So I totally get all of your points, and like speaking of for Germany, but for Hungary, this country is.
You can't speak to her, you have to speak to me.
Hey,
is Marta.
Martha Ganash, IVSA expert. So just a parliamentary inquiry for organising an event. I'm pretty sure the manuals give an indication of what the OC is supposed to be providing. And I know it's relatively basic, so it's accommodation, it's food, GA halls. I think I'd just like the parliamentarians to clarify. But based on that, they can cut quite a few things from the budget currently as it stands. So that was one of the reasons why Exco would have entered sort of in an advisory role, is to go through their budget and look at and really scrutinize every single budget entry that they have and see what they cut on, what can't they cut on. Because currently the activities don't take up that much of the budget as it is now. It's the accommodation and the formal dinner that takes up, I'd say, the biggest portion of the budget. So that's the reason why we say we will go through the budget with them and really go through every single little entry and see how we can help them and where they can cut. And then in terms of the fee, I don't see it being feasible to lower the fee much more than this. Simply because if you look at the past 3 or 4 years, what the cost for Symposium, it's not that much higher than what you pay even to come to South Korea. So yes, we do understand that everyone has budget concerns, but we need to remember that we're currently looking at 350 euros, and the question is, do we want to lower this even more? Do we want to vote on it now as is, or do we want to increase it? So I'd say let's just get back to what the thing is that we're currently discussing.
Yes, you can answer.
Can I say that? Over, I guess, in the Netherlands. So in our bylaws, it is not specifically stated what the OC exactly needs to accommodate for. It says the OC is responsible for planning, organizing, and financing the Congress or Symposium. The manuals do specify a little bit more. These are technically non-binding, but they are guidelines to adhere to. And there it says that they should provide at least a food, accommodation, transport. Tours can be optional. Like, we can definitely make them optional, pay more for that, lower fee, whatever. Okay, that's it.
Dana Masa, IVSA Malaysia. Parliamentary inquiry, is there like a limit as to how much OC is supposed to spend on formal dinner?
Over highs in the Netherlands? No. Bylaws do state, does see, give me a second. Yeah. The Congress and Symposium fee should cover as a minimum accommodation and food during the whole Congress or Symposium, as well as access to the venues of the General Assembly meetings. That's the only thing that is specifically stated in the bylaws regarding what they should spend their budget on.
Okay, thank you. Anyone who hasn't spoken? Chrissy.
I say now, IVSA Greece, I think that we cannot cut the touristic things, because let's be clear that many of us didn't know what is MGAs. So most of new people come to the symposiums and congresses, and then they learn what it means GAs. So if we want to attract people to come in IVSA family and to learn what is GAs, we have to put this kind of vacation stuff, touristic stuff.
Thank you. Anyone who hasn't spoken? No, you're not a beat, Daniel. quick clarification so you understand. Moving the previous question, I asked for objections about moving the previous question, and then we go immediately to a vote. So if you want to keep discussing, you have to object. Okay. So are there any objections to moving the previous question? Hearing none. We will now vote on approving the maximum fee at 350 euros. We're going to do a card raising vote, so get your cards out. And 350 euros. Red cards, not maximum fee, 350 euros. Okay, get your cards ready. Everybody ready? Okay, the chair will initiate a motion to stand these for 2 minutes. Okay. Are there any objections to standing these? Hearing none, we're at ease. Don't go anywhere. You can talk for 2 minutes. You have 1 minute left. 1 minute. Okay, like 10 seconds, get it together. Green card or red card. Also, if you don't have your cards, you cannot vote. So just sit there quietly. You must have the cards. Okay, everybody sit down. Everybody sit down. That includes you, Poland. Sit down. Okay. The chair calls the GA back to order at 1:41. That's Korea time. At the PM there. Okay. Now we're going to do a card raising vote to approve the maximum fee for Morocco at 350 euros. No, you. I don't think you can do that. No, you can't do that. Okay. want to approve the maximum fee at 350 euros, raise your green cards now. Okay, lower them. If you don't want to do that, raise your red cards now. Okay, pass. Good work, everybody. Okay, now, the chair will accept nominations for host of the 68th IVSA Symposium 2 years away. Are there any nominations? Hearing none, nominations are closed. They will be open again in Croatia. Yeah, Croatia. Okay, now, voting on nominees for president. This would have been a long thing, but Ellen Van Oldenburg is elected president without a vote. Congratulations. Now, presentation on the 68th IVSA Congress in Croatia. The chair gives the floor to IVSA Croatia.
Hello. My name is Valentina, this is Josip, and we'll give some final information about the Congress. So we have an amazing event planned for you, and we are invite you to 68 Congress in Croatia. First of all, my thanks go to the OC for the work they have done, and we had a wonderful time. They taught us a lot of things which made our work easier to handle. So, IVS Croatia, there is around 60 or 70 members, but 30 members are active. We have various local events and activities. This is not our first Congress, so many of our professors are really looking forward to the second one. About Croatia, population is approximately 4 million. Official language is Croatian, currency is kuna. 1 kuna is approximately 1 euro is approximately 7.4 kunas. Croatia is in European Union, so for all the other countries, this is for visa requirements. Details, 21st of July until the 1st of August. Number of the delegates minimum is 150, and the fee is 370 euros, but the tax is not included. Lectures and workshops, we will give you the... Okay, sorry. Some of the workshops are related to the pathology of dolphins, fish and bees diseases. We also have great horse practice. There's a lot of work with snakes. So due to geographic diversity in Croatia, we'll try to show you the wildlife as well. And this is a promo video of our faculty that will give you more insight.